Well, hello, good afternoon and welcome back to Rangers Radio, this post-match show. Join myself, Oxchair, as Bridgeman, and Blue Shadow. How are we doing, gentlemen?
Disappointed, mate. Disappointed, but Thursday, let's face it, Thursday was the more important of the two games. That we were successful there, so we can't be too disappointed, really.
I think the way I seen it, we set up technically, we were trying to stifle them at the start of the game, and we didn't pass the ball well, so therefore we just kept churning our possession. Put myself under pressure. Arguably fortunate to get to half-time, nothing each, but we did. And then a controversial moment where you think it was a foul on Ryan Jack. For me, it was a foul 3 or 4 times out of 10. It could have been given, and then that changed the whole game. Arguably, as we came into the game, the second half, we played a bit better in the first half. Never created a lot, but for me, we're forward players. Weren't they great today in keeping the ball, holding the ball, played with the head sometimes, and played with the heart and not with the head. But we move on, and it's time to get behind the manager, the team, and let's go on a run. Bridgeman.
Absolutely, 100%. That should never put us off. I said it before the game, and I've been saying it before every Celtic game, to be honest. That boy Rogic, he always comes up with some sort of magic, and he conned Ryan Jack there. I don't know whether he fouled him or he touched him. I'm not 100% sure, but he was away. And the only person in all probability in our team that would have caught him from a midfielder perspective would have been Ryan Jack, but he was left on his arse. So we're stuck. That guy runs something like, 20 yards inside his own half, and he ends up at our box, and they're playing 1-2s and everything. Oh, my God. Nah, we need to do better in the midfield. Other than that, we get beat 1-0. I was hoping we would have won 1-0. But what you said, Oxchair, is probably right. We sort of continued, play-wise, we sort of continued where we left off on Thursday night. And it was just, basically, it was going to be it looked like a whole first half of us defending consistently, defend.
We did start the second half better. Do you think so,
Absolutely.
Rudy Bell?
Yeah, second half was... But let's be honest about it, Ox. It couldn't have been much worse than the first half. I mean, the only thing, we went in nothing each. We were lucky to go in nothing each, disappointed, obviously. Thought they made a wee bit of better fist in the second half. But I agree with Bridgeman. We need to sort this midfield thing out when we play them. I don't know what this is, why we don't understand this sitting after them and allowing them to play at times. I really don't get it. I understand the fact we had a big game Thursday night, down to 9 men, long journey, expended a lot of energy. Get all that. So I do,
If that was the case, was it no an opportunity to use your substitutes with about 15, 20, 25, 30 minutes to go?
That's a good shout, Ox. You take some weary legs off the park. You stick all your substitutes on, in my opinion, really, just for the sake of getting fresh legs onto the park, Ox, So, disappointing. I think you can look at the players. I think you can look at Steven Gerrard's sort of decision-making process. But look, up to this point, the guy's hardly put a foot wrong. We go to there, we lose 1-0. In my opinion, a free kick that was suspect in my opinion.
I wanted a foul. When the game was on, mate, and so did our manager.
Yep. That's exactly.
But there's still 70 yards for goal, so there's something wrong with our setup. This just get caught with a sucker punch. When we were coming back into the game, Blue Shadow.
I wouldn't say it goes as far as saying we're working our way back into the game. We were marginally better than we were in the second half, even at the start of the second.
Getting a toe into the game then.
That'd be a bit closer to the mark, my man, I mean, we were still sitting far too deep at second place. I said in the pre-match, if we sit back and let this clock come on to us, then we're going to be in trouble. I said, practically went as far as said we'd lose, and unfortunately we did. And I think the damage was done by that. By 10, 15 minutes into the second half, damage was done. We got away with it in the first half, and you just cannot give up that amount of territory, amount of possession, and expect to win it, and expect to get anything from a game.
Blue, you look at when Hearts beat them this season and last season when they gubbed them 4-0 and then they beat them at the beginning of this season. You look how Hearts played against them, right up in their faces, in amongst them, in round about them. no allowing them to pass, no allowing them any time or space. That's how you got to play them. I don't understand why we can't see that. You know, it's the first half for me. I just thought that's just not acceptable, really. You know,
it was obvious what the tactics were. They kept it right about the wing, kept it tight in the middle, so they were playing in with muted bodies, and it worked quite well. Bridgman for the first half an hour.
Yeah, I think we did. I've got no complaints about today's game, other than the fact that I thought we defended too much in the first half. But that might have been them putting all the pressure on. But in all honesty, the first 25 minutes of the game was all them, 100% all them. We started to get a wee grip of the game, and then we fell out it again. And the usual stuff that we've spoke about for a long time is we give the ball away easily. We put bad passes out the park and so on and so forth. And when you're up the park and you're under pressure and you get the ball up the park, the last thing you want to do is make a sloppy pass in midfield, back to midfield or anything like that, and let them pick up because they'll charge away from you. You need to make sure you're either bump that ball in and let them make the goalkeeper make a save, or indeed get it over the bar, or in the net for that matter, you know what I mean. We need to do something more positive with the ball. And if we miss it, then fair enough. At least we get a chance to get back and get back up there. But we end up running up the park, and a lot of our players are on the front foot, and they're up there, and all of a sudden, a bad pass comes in and goes behind them, and they pick it up, and away they go. No talk.
I think the goal came from a corner kick, mate.
Absolutely.
I think we might have had a corner kick from memory, but I can't remember now.
It was a corner kick.
We've been joined by Big Ulster. Afternoon, big man.
Afternoon, guys.
Thoughts?
All right, Ulster.
I think if we're being brutally honest with ourselves, we watched two different teams, or we watched the Celtic side that knows how to win an Old Firm game and knows what needs to be done, pressure put on, and we've seen a Rangers side very, very naive and very nervous for their first Old Firm game. And unfortunately, I think we brought that into the rest of the game until obviously Celtic scored. We started to play a wee bit, caused them a few issues, but we sat back too much. We allowed them to play. We allowed them to dictate the game for most of the first half. And if you keep playing like that in Old Firm games, and you've got a team there who's closing you down, putting blood, sweat, and tears into their game, they'll always win the day. And I think that's what happened yesterday. I think we'll learn from it. I think it would be crazy for us to throw everything up in the air. You know, I mean, the demand change.
Oh, no.
I've seen people
this is the time
doing that, but yeah, we need to look at.
Mate, this is the time to get behind the team, get behind the manager, and go on a run now and see what it takes us.
Yes, of course, exactly. And he'll learn from it.
We've got to start beating teams, and this is where the Aberdeen and Murrable points have come back to haunt us. Blue Shadow.
Yeah, you put that very well, Ox. This is the one, you know, I say the loss today isn't the one that's hurting us at the minute. It's a drop in 4 points earlier on against those two with the late goals that we conceded. Today, it's just, as I said before, anybody can make a mistake. I think we got it totally tactically wrong today. As Ulster said, we stood off them too much. Not only did we, fair enough, you want to give them possession in their own half, that's fine. But why are we standing 2 yards off them when they're at our 30-yard line? You know, and you've got them pinned against the sidelines where they can still got room to make passes and all the rest of it. It's just we made them look a far, far better team than they actually are today. If we, as we said before the match started, we needed to get up, get in their faces and put pressure on them, and they'll make mistakes. I mean, that's why we couldn't make our passes, but it's because they were putting pressure on us. It was like the roles were totally reversed from what they should have been.
I also think we weren't keeping the ball brilliantly up front. We were getting away cheap fouls, trying to compete all the time, just slightly getting it wrong. Rudy Bear, then Big Ulster.
It was it didn't click too well up front today. You know, they had a hard job trying to keep the ball, you know, but Bridgman and Blue Shadow hit the nail on the head, you know. You've got to keep the ball better. You know, if you're going to play that kind of tactics, you have to keep the ball better when you've got it, you know. And we just simply didn't do that today, Ox. And I hate to say it, but, you know, we really didn't deserve anything out the game today. You know,
we never played well. We can't even. I mean, by the way, we could have stole a point at the end if Tarp gets it right.
Aye, yeah. But the good thing today the thing for me today is, right, that's it now. Right, so we've went there. A lot of the players in the team, it was their first experience.
Can we all go on mute if you're not talking, please, lads? Carry on, Rudy.
It was the first experience in Old Firm game, at the Piggery especially. They've now got it under their belt. They now know what is required. We've got 2 weeks now coming up. They've got a break, which is a much needed break. Let's be honest about it. They've done so well recently. There've been a lot of football. We've got injuries to come back. So we get a 2 week spell now where the boys get a bit of a break. They have a wee breather, get some of the injuries back. Hopefully Koulibaly gets back. I really think we could have done with Koulibaly the day. Ryan Jack worked his backside off the day. I think Ryan Jack played really well. McGregor, probably Rangers man of the match for me. But we really need a bit of a spell now where they can take a bit of a breather, regroup, and go at it again now, Ox. I think they deserve a bit of a break now.
Big Ulster?
Yeah, Rudy's right. We need to. This is where we have to look at what has happened. It's new to the manager. It's new to everybody involved with Rangers, as in, staff and coaches. This game, the Old Firm game, new to most of the players. I think Gerrard has obviously give Celtic too much respect. The teams give Celtic too much respect. I think it took us late in the first half, very late in the first half, 40 odd minutes, to actually string 3 successful passes together. We just couldn't do it. We just, Celtic pressed us so well today. They've done everything that they need to do in Old Firm game. We didn't do the right things, but we have to. I still feel like we can get it right going forward as long as we stick together, stick by the team. We'll get there. Last season was different because there was nothing there, but I still believe in the games I've seen this season that there is enough there. Especially when they scored, we started to go for it a wee bit. We calmed ourselves down. We made some chances. All right, Celtic defended pretty well as well. We made a couple of silly errors. A few passes went astray and stuff. But we'll learn from it. I really do still believe in the team. I still believe in the management structure, but I just think it was a lot of naivety in an Old Firm game, the way we came to the game today. And I thought, to be honest, because I know Gerrard, normally when we have a bad first half, Gerrard normally seems to get the troops all firing in the second. I thought we came out a wee bit better in the second, but I still think Celtic overall in the second half, up until the score, were probably the better team. But we need to look at it.
They started the first 10 minutes of the second half and did a few corners kicks. Can I just say I thought Big Golston had a good game for us?
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah, the two centre backs played well.
Aye, they didn't.
Can I come in on that?
We've been joined by a caller. I don't know who it is. How we doing, caller?
Hi, Oxshare, it's Dale. How you doing?
Hi, Dale. Dale, all right, mate?
Yeah, not so bad. Listen, guys, I know today's disappointing, but how many times I'm lucky enough in many ways to see many an Old Firm game lost at this point in the season, and it means in many ways absolutely nothing, which sounds a stupid thing to say, but we must just remember, look at our history, look how we've came back, look how the league was never lost today, never in a million years. Big learning curve for Gerrard today. Granted, I agree with the guys.
Excuse me, Dale, is somebody go on mute, please? I don't know who the noise is coming. Go on mute, lads, when you're not talking. Carry on, Dale.
I was just going to say, I agree, big learning curve for Gerrard today. I agree, don't think he got it right. I think in all honesty, it wasn't a game for Morelos today. Maybe a big Lafferty up front. If anything, I don't want to speak about other teams as such, but look, Hearts ultimately have bet Celtic more times than anybody else in this league. Why didn't we look at that today? But that's a conversation for another day, I think. I feel today's a big learning curve, and by all means, we've got that first stint, that block that Gerrard spoke about. We've done and dusted. Let's regroup, take this time off that's coming up, and then go forward without
That's
a doubt.
That's a good point you make, Dale. I mean, there's another 34 games to go in the season, the league season, So for anybody to say that either won or lost the league on this, which is the fourth game, this result today, it's just errant nonsense, obviously. But you'll get that in the media, and it'll be all full, it'll be everywhere tomorrow. But that's all right, that's their want, that's what they do. But you're right, mate, there's 34 league games to go. There's a lot of football to be played, a lot.
What I will say, Dale, and Rudy, and I'll take this to Bridge, who wanted to come in there, we have to take, I don't know who's doing the banging, but please, our old school will drop you. So we have to take our next 9 points. Bridgeman.
Yeah, we've got to win. We've definitely got to win our next number of games in a row.
Home to Dundee, I think home to St Johnstone and then away to Livingston. We'll go to
Well, great chances,
start
haven't
the run. If we don't,
great
mate,
chances.
if we don't, then people
Well,
will start asking questions.
Balls in the
where we're
slates,
going.
isn't it? If we don't,
Aye.
we've got to do it. We've got to
9
do
out
it
of
at
9.
Ibrox. We need to win at Ibrox. Simple as that. Look, our management team, and a whole load of the team is their first chance of seeing what an old firm games was like, and the sort of at Parkhead where we know that all the hatred in the world comes out and pouring out at it. So that's a big experience for these guys. And I'm not saying they froze or anything like that. Absolutely not. But we played and we let them play. You watch the way the first half went, and it was like they were stroking the ball 10, 15 yards inside their own half. And that's where most of their passing was, across the back, and then the short passes up to midfield, get it back. So their possession was sky high. Ours was nil, virtually, for chunks of that game.
Maystate never hurt us, but they did. As the half wore on, the last 15 minutes, they started to hurt us wide. For
Exactly.
me, and it's only an opinion, and I'll go to Cushy, who's joined us. I think we'd have been better with Morelos, Candias than Kent for that game. Only my opinion. Afternoon, Cushy.
Afternoon, guys. How are we?
Right, Cushy.
Well, aye,
Cushy.
brilliant, mate.
Could be better.
Give us your thoughts, mate.
I thought we looked a bit of a tired team, to be honest with you. I think we just lacked a little bit of edge, particularly right in the middle of the park. Felt we just weren't quite at it. One of the striking things for me when we play Celtic is how many second balls they win in the middle of the park, and they just transfer it straight onto good possession for themselves. And we never seem to be able to do that against them. And today was no exception in that respect. The ball goes up in the air, Goldson or Katic win a header, and then the next ball we win, it just always seems to fall to a Celtic player, or they win it, and right away you're on the back foot. And it's something I think that we need to tidy up on. I mean, I think I don't want to make excuses for it. I don't want to sound as if we're making excuses. I don't think it was a particularly good performance for us today. But given the fact, we've had 3 very tough away games. We're just back from Russia at 1:30 on Friday morning, and I think that just our team looked. I thought our team looked as if that had just told a little bit on them. I thought our centre defence was absolutely superb today, I have to say.
And the goalkeeper.
Yeah, I thought they were, given the amount of pressure that they had and the amount of corners that they had, I thought the actual Katic, Goldson and McGregor were absolutely superb. And because we ceded so much possession to them and were pinned so far back, we don't get the guys who were looking to do some damage in terms of Tavernier and Barisic forward to throw in their crosses, and we get a lot of joy doing that. But those boys just couldn't make any impact in the game at all until about the last 15 minutes, where we started actually seeing some balls into the box from them, because Celtic themselves were starting to had stepped off the gas a little bit. But disappointing. But I'm not going to throw the toys out the pram. It's a tough place to go. I felt that we were going to struggle after coming back from Russia a little bit. And I think the break is coming at a very good time for us.
Yeah. Del, I think we're all pretty much in agreement, particularly in the first half. We didn't play well. For me, it was just, I couldn't put my finger on who it was, but it was all, we were constantly misplaced passes, getting the wrong decision, sometimes too tight. But also, the Buffalo and Big Laugh, they just couldn't get the ball to hold it, just to let us give a breather so we can move up the park and then try and attack them. We actually had a chance when we got it right in the first half for Ryan Jack. Dale.
I agree. I think these type of games, it's all about chances, isn't it? You got to take your chances. It's a cliche, isn't it? You must take your chances. You'll hear it in every pub, or the right pubs that you go into anyway. Take your chances. I'm rubbish with tactics in many ways. I don't protest to be a great tactician and anything like that. But all I hear is the midfield is so important for these type of games, and I just felt. I think we just needed to win the 50-50s. There is an argument that some might say we're never ever allowed to win the 50-50s, but again that sounds a wee bit like sour grapes. But there was a couple of times you got to remember Morelos was almost away and open, and there was people open left and right, and the referee would pull it back. On another day, would we get those decisions? It sounds a wee bit sour grapes, but ultimately Celtic bossed the first. I think we gave them somebody mentioned respect. I think we gave them too much respect, and I totally agree with Cushy. I think it's some might say it's easy to make that an excuse, but the bottom line is we've played with 9 men in Europe. We have to take stock. I think the Advocat teams getting beat there at the start of the season, different things like that. It would be better players than arguably what we've got at the moment, and we have to take stock. And what intrigues me was how much they were actually celebrating that victory, which kind of surprised me in many ways. But I think relief is the word from their side, which pleases me in many ways. I think that pleases me in many ways.
We were putting them under a wee bit of pressure at the end of the game, and they were trying to just play the game out the last 10 minutes.
Absolutely. I think what disappointed me today, I said to the old man, what I need to do today, I wasn't caring the result in many ways, because it was always tough, as you say, going to that place. But compete, we had to compete, and I've just felt we let ourselves down now. I think that's the bottom line, that buzzword compete. I don't think we competed today, and which is the sad part.
Can I just come in there?
Big Ulster, and then we'll go to Boy Shadow. Ulster, we're disappointed, but we're improving, mate. And there was a point in the second half, and I pointed at my lad when we were watching it. Their midfield just got the ball and hooked to it, and Tierney was in space. That's the strength that comes about when you've been playing as a team, mate. We're a new team, and we'll get better.
We will get better. There's no doubt about it. I agree with Cushy and Dale. You know, they won the balls. They won everything today. The second balls was bouncing to them. When we eventually won the ball in midfield, the next pass was always a frantic, crazy pass that went either too far forward and out, or else it went too far behind the player. It was I think it was a lot of nerves in that team today. Definitely. They buckled a wee bit under the pressure. I do believe that. But that is their first Old Firm game. And we'll get better. I truly believe we will get better. But the thing is, there's no point, drawing at Motherwell. There's no point getting yourself 3-2 up and then losing a late goal. That Celtic team will lose points. They're not a great team. They will lose points against other teams this season, but we have to be winning points. We have to group together now in the international break, get the training in, and go and beat these teams. We have to go out and beat the Dundees, beat the St Johnsons, and beat the rest of them, and start gaining points back. There's no point throwing everything out the window now. You know what I mean? Because that's crazy. No. But they will get better. They will.
We'll go to Boy Shadow, then we'll be joined by Travel Rug. On you go, boy.
I have to agree with both parts of what you said. I mean, when we, towards the end of the match, where they were sitting back that wee bit, and we actually got up the pitch and put some pressure on them, it just showed you how suspect that rear line of theirs is, and that's what is the main disappointment with today is coming up, and we just didn't get at them enough. As regards what you pointed out earlier, Oxford, where the defenders were able to hook the ball out onto the line, and they knew exactly where that young lad was going to be, because that only comes with just organisation, a team being together for a long time. We used to do the same ourselves with the wingers. They were stuck out in the wings. That you knew exactly where they were, and it will come with time. And it only takes a little bit of organisation, which I'm sure that the Mr. Gerrard and his management team will get round to.
Travel Rug, thoughts, mate?
A bit disappointed. I know they had a lot of the play. I thought we were containing them pretty well. Goalkeeper done what he was supposed to be doing and made some good saves. Terrible decision for the referee. I thought it was a foul. But also Ajaria, he let the boy run past him. Left him free at the back post. Ajaria looked absolutely knackered today, and I think we were a wee bit struggling there. The exertions of the midweek have caused us a bit, I think. So.
Possibly Travel Rug, yeah. A wee bit leggy. I thought Ajaria looked tired with an early goal, I thought he'd done a lot of work in the first half.
He's been excellent, Ajaria. I'm not being too critical, but I think, unfortunately, it's just been one game too far. We just need that break, and that one game has been the biggest game for us, and unfortunately, we've just came up a bit short. I also think a couple of decisions in the final third, we Moreles turns the man and gets through in the goalie, and he just needs to slip it. And there was the boy Kent had an open goal, and it's the same with Tavernier when he shot across the face. He just cuts that inside. These decisions, it's big, massive decisions in games like that.
He ended up doing nothing with it, Tav, didn't he? I'm saying this is it. This is the moment.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
Bridgeman, in you come, mate.
I think Travelrug's quite right there. I think when you look at the decisions, that decision in isolation, I thought it was a foul, and I saw on one of the feeds that the fourth official was saying to the referee that it was a free kick.
I think Stephen Gerrard's mentioned that in his interview. Rudy Bell.
It was a free kick. You know, there's no getting away from it. But look, you can't hang your hat on that though, Ox. You know, I mean, yeah, the first half for me was I just didn't get the first half.
It was a full 70 yards for goal, mate. Yeah.
You know, when you've got that amount of time, you know, they're so far away, you know, they've got that amount of time, there's loads you could have done about it. It didn't happen, you know, so for me, refereeing decisions aside, did we deserve anything for the game today? No, in my opinion, unfortunately, Ox, you know. No, in my opinion.
We never played nowhere near as well as we have done. We didn't pass it all well. Forwards never played well.
A point on Ajaria, though. Ajaria has been fantastic, I think, in the last sort of 3 games. His shift on Thursday night there, helping the defence out where we went down to 9 men, was superb, so it was. And at every opportunity, him and Ryan Kent tried to carry the ball up the park. They really were the only two who were trying to do that. As we got near the end of the game on Thursday night, the amount of energy that the two boys expended on Thursday night was superb, so it was, you know. So I think we've got to give them a wee bit of leeway today, a wee bit, because they had a great shift.
I feel I'll go to Dell now. Dell, I feel as if everybody were not wanting to get in the teams back. We understood it was a bad, disappointing performance, disappointing result, but we know where we're going and we know where we are. Dell, then Cushy.
Absolutely. As I say, I think we would all have sort of bit that hand off if somebody said, look, this is where we're going to be at this particular point in time. In terms of Ajaria, just a quick note, you've got to remember that guy's been born and bred in the EPL. They guys get acres of space to do stuff and perform. With games like that, you don't get it. Any Old Firm game, if you do any interview with any guy who's played an Old Firm game, will say it's 100 miles an hour. That's all you hear, 100 miles an hour. And I think that's the learning curve that I'm talking about. Ajaria, he would never have played in a game as fast paced as that in his life ever, I doubt. And I think that's the crux of the whole thing. Midfield again. I keep harping on about it. I think you've got to win that battle. I think Rudy's right. I think, in all honesty, even with the referee decisions today, I probably don't. I think the result pretty much reflects the way that we played and how they played in many ways.
Cushy?
Yeah, there's not much to disagree with there. You know, I think, and I see Ajari's getting a little bit of stick for not tracking his man back, but I think that just showed that the boy had just ran out of legs by that stage. You know, I think the only criticism I have probably at this stage is that I would have, as soon as the goal goes in, I think that's the time to change it for us, and that's probably the time I would have started making some substitutions to get some fresh legs in. But we waited a little bit too long for my liking to actually do that. I would have probably made the substitutions a bit sooner in the goal going in, to be honest with you, because I thought we did look leggy before that. But as soon as you're 1-0 down, the game plans out the window.
What would you have done?
Well, I certainly think Candace should have come on a lot sooner. One of the issues, and it's a good question, Ox, because I was watching that game today and I was thinking, what would that actually change in the centre of our midfield to get us back into that game? And I was struggling to do it because the changes that I was looking to make were all in the kind of on the winger side in terms of Candace and things like that. I was looking at the bench and I was thinking, who would I bring on in the centre midfield that I think is actually going to do something in the centre midfield? And I struggled a little bit to actually get someone that I thought could change the game, you know. And I think that reflects a transfer policy a little bit. You know, we have concentrated in the defence and that's improved, but that creative spark that in the centre of midfield, I think we're lacking. And if Ajaria isn't providing it, and the boy looked exhausted today, particularly in the second half, if he's not providing it,
I've not been overly struck with Arfield, Cushy, but I thought Arfield done all right today. I thought he was the best out of our midfield three.
Yeah, I think he does a shift. He keeps it tight. He tries to keep possession. He tries to do the right thing. He put a lot of good tackles in, But in terms of just opening up a defence or carrying the ball, he's not. I don't think that doesn't really appear to be his game. And we were looking for to replace that kind of what Ajaria actually does. We don't seem to have that in the centre of mid. Maybe Koulibaly, I think, was a big loss. It would have been nice to see. I think he would have been, if he'd been fit, he'd have been straight in today, I think, to give us some fresh legs in the centre of that midfield. But we just lacked a little bit of creativity in there just to bring the ball down. And when it wasn't working, as I say, I would have got Candace on a lot sooner, definitely on the right. But after that, I thought we're starting to just kind of tinker a little bit and hope for the best for what, and that was a little bit concerning.
Can I come in, Ox? Yeah.
Have you joined me a caller, Bridge? How are we doing,
right.
caller?
Hi, Denver Bear here, guys. How we doing?
Hi, Denver.
On you go, mate, Denver.
Right, so, I doing all right. That's the thing, Ox. See, now we've got their number. You saw what it meant to them to beat us, because they're desperate to beat us, and to be doing laps of honour for 1 and 3 points. That shows you what it means to them. So we've got their number, and I said to you during the week, if you gave me a choice between winning at Parkhead or qualifying for Europe every day, we'll get another 3 times to beat this shower of shite. So that's all I've got to say about it.
Well said, Denver.
Good old Denver. He's right though. He is right. But see, to be honest, if we put in another, I'd be worried. See if we go to Ibrox, Rudy, in the next game, and we put in the same turgid performance, then against them, I'd be panicking then. Well, I think we just have to look at it and it was a tough game in Russia, but I'm not giving the team excuses because we didn't set up right in the first instance. We sat back too much and we give them too much respect. And if you let them play, they will play because they're good in strike, they're good in the attacking positions, they're poor in defence. It's just unfortunate, I think, Rudy, for us that we didn't attack them more, because if we had we have the players there, I think, to hurt them.
Marella should have been in bed and not up at 10 o'clock signing that new contract.
Absolutely, I agree with you, Ulster. From middle to front, they're good. Yeah, you can't take that away from them. It's defence where they're a wee bit shaky. And Hearts seen that. Hearts have saw that twice last season and this season. Hearts saw that, and Hearts went at them, gave them a hard time, and we saw what happened there. Like you say, when we play at Ibrox, have the same.
Rudy, I'll cut across you. We've been joined by a caller. How are we doing, caller?
How you doing?
Who's this? Hello? Oh, gone. He's gone. We'll go to Dell, then Cushy. Look.
Who about me?
You have loads and loads of time to speak.
Okay, but
in the next week, 2 weeks. Dell, look, I think Rudy's right, but everybody's been very honest. We just ran out of legs, we didn't play well, we didn't pass well, maybe we got our set up slightly wrong, and that just put us under pressure. But the funny thing is, when we done that, we didn't lose a goal. It's when we broke up the park and we had the ball and we had a bit of forward play, that's when we lost the goal.
Absolutely. I think the buzzword again is decision making, isn't it? I think Travel Rug struck a note there, a wee bit of composure with Tavernier, and you can see he's got a man free just to slip it back. It's just patience and deep breath, take it easy. And maybe we did get caught up in it a wee bit today. Maybe the atmosphere, the occasion, maybe just caught up with us a little bit, as well as the legs and the European run and different things like that. But I just think we're definitely moving forward. We would have got battered last year. Let's face it, we would have got battered. It would have been the same 4-0 or whatever. I was just disappointed we didn't compete. I was hoping we would compete today, but we didn't compete and we never get battered. So what does that say? It says that we're on the right track. You've got to remember, this guy's got a 4-year contract. He's learning on the job. He'll never admit it. He knows he's not stupid. He's been in the game long enough. He'll know when he's made mistakes, or he's lying at night thinking, "Oh, I wish I'd just done that, or done this decision, or brung him on, or whatever it might be." I just don't. I can't help think we missed a trick by looking how Hearts played Celtic, and I think that's the way he played them at the minute, where we are and where the players are, and things like that.
Big difference, tight park, mate, compared to a big park. Anyway, lads, before we go to Cushy, then Travel Rug, let's hear for your manager. So if you don't mind going on mute, lads, we'll hear for your manager, Steven Gerrard, MBE.
Stephen, it's a defeat for your side this afternoon. How do you reflect on it?
Yeah, we're disappointed because obviously it's a big game. It's our rivals. It's our first defeat together, so it's going to hurt. It'll take a while to get over, but I actually thought we were growing within the game. Second half we were a lot better. First half we didn't play enough. We didn't make enough passes, although our shape was okay. The frustrating thing is because we've been done, I believe, by a referee decision. For me, it was a blatant foul, and if we get that, we maybe come away from here with a point, which, having what we've been through and where we've been and how much work we've put in, it would have been a satisfactory result. So disappointed in the decision from the referee, but that's life. We have to get on with it.
You mentioned the frustration of the foul. Is it also frustrating at that time you seem to be really building into the game?
Well, I'm standing next to the fourth official and he's shouting foul, foul, foul down the mic, so I just assumed it'll be given. But yeah, looking at the game as a whole, Celtic, we always know we're going to have periods of possession. They've been together for 150 odd games. They've got a lot of experience, winning experience, and we've been together for 12, 13 weeks, so we'll improve, we'll keep working hard, we'll keep growing, and we'll be better. Next time this fixture comes round, we'll be better. You mentioned your shape there. Can you take heart from the way that you held Celtic out, really, to set pieces and cross balls? Yeah, I think the previous 3-4 derbies that I've watched, it's been a bit of a mismatch, and Celtic have blew Rangers away. I think we stayed strong first half within our shape. What we didn't do is when they gave us the ball back, we didn't keep it for long enough, and we felt like we were hanging on a little bit. But to get to half time 0-0, we were pleased with that. We asked the players to have a bit more courage in possession, play a bit better, and I thought second half we matched them, if not edged it a bit, because I thought we were the ones that were looking to try and get the equaliser. It's the end of a long, hectic period of games. Your side will have a well-earned break now. Is this coming at a good time for you? Yeah, it has. The break it has, because we can get on the training ground and we can work and we can drill the players. We haven't had really much time to train and work and improve. Some players will go away on international duty. We hope that they come back healthy. It's a chance for us to get Koulibaly fit, Grezda fit, Doran's fit. A lot of players that'll help us become better and stronger. So it has come at a good time. Obviously the disappointing thing is we have to swallow this defeat, which hurts. And I know there's huge frustration today, but can you still look back over that period of games with real pride about how far you've come? This team have gave me everything, every bit of sweat, blood, tears. In the first 12 to 14 weeks, whatever we've been together, I've asked major questions of them and they've answered them all. Okay, today the result didn't go our way. It's our first defeat together, so it's a setback, but we have to learn and grow and bottle this pain and bottle this frustration and try and use it in our favour after the break.
What a man. Travel Rug and then our JFK. On you go, Travel Rug.
I've got nothing much else to add to what the manager says. It was.
What did you phone in for?
Oh yeah, I'm actually halfway through a bowl of lentil soup here, so.
Well, go and have your soup. I'll go to Jimmy. On you go, Jimmy.
Where do you start? I'm wanting some soup now.
Lentil. Ham in it? Is there any ham in it?
We were absolutely rubbish today. Rubbish we were. One good player in the park, and that was the goalie, Alan McGregor. The rest of the boys just didn't perform today. We made that a lot look as if they were something else. Many refereeing decisions did we not get? Probably about 10 or 11. The dive for the free kick, then Griggs had a fantastic save. Stevie Wonder could have saw that was a dive, yet we still never got it. And definitely, the goal should never have. Roger just swiped a leg away for Ryan Jack. I'm not going to make excuses that way, because, but dearie me, how many times, the manager's right, the referee done us out of at least a point today. Really, really disappointed. The refereeing situation's got to be sorted. Not just for us, not just because of the Gers today, but Willie Collum again today was absolute garbage. Absolute rubbish. Peed off with it. Oh.
Cushy, the manager, he's pretty much saying the same as us, eh?
I think so. He obviously listens to the show, Oxford.
I'm just waiting for him phoning in. He's got nothing to do this Thursday. He's been busy for the last 8 and he's on his phone in.
No, I think he knows. I've got a sneaking suspicion that he thought, looking at his players and looking at the shift that they put in over the last few weeks, and then particularly on Thursday, that this was potentially just a bridge too far for them in terms of just having the sharpness and the physicality required. So we just got to take it in the chin. We'll move on. There's no, as I say, there's no doubting that he's the right guy in the right place for us. I felt Celtic today were probably the wrong team, the wrong place at the wrong time. So in terms of the referee as well, he's not a good ref, but we still lost the battle in the midfield. Celtic still had hit the post in the game 3-4 times, and McGregor kept us in it with some absolutely fantastic saves. So the goal changed the points, but it didn't really change the performance from Rangers, which is what I was looking for. And that wasn't really up to scratch today, but it's done now. It's finished. We get the boys fit, as Gerrard said. We get them fresher, and we've got a relatively straightforward, I think, September to pick up as many points as we possibly can. So let's just go and do that and get the points in the bag now.
Cushy, before I go to Bridgeman, I think it's important that possibly we can try and go on a run the next difficult potential league game that we shouldn't win, in my opinion, or it should be maybe hard for us, is not at the end of October to be play away at Easter Road, and we should go and win every game for now and then try and build a momentum that we're still winning every game up until we play that mob again. Bridgeman.
Yeah, 100% agree with you there, Oxford. Absolutely. I think, following on from what Cushy was saying, there was some, shall we say, some strange decisions by the referee, but we've got to rise above that. We gave away possession today. We allowed them to come and attack us, and they've got quite a strong midfield, and they tackle really, really hard, to point verging on dirty. But they really are a hard team in the midfield, and we weren't today. Our field, I thought, played very well. Much as you said, Oxford, probably, in my opinion, probably his best game defensive-wise in midfield for the Rangers. And I think he was the only man that was actually tackling hard. And I mean really hard. So there was no love lost. I thought Lafferty put a shift in the first half there, but to no avail. But I mean, we really didn't hammer them in the midfield. That's what I think we're looking for. Hammer. We didn't hammer them. We didn't take advantage of them. We didn't take the ball off them enough. All that nonsense that goes on, we just allowed them the possession, and possession builds and builds and builds. Second half, well, particularly the last 20 minutes, 25 minutes of the second half, I thought we were playing very well, to be perfectly honest with you. I don't know what you guys think. And if it wasn't for some shit crosses by our right back, we could have made more inroads to their goal,
We were huffing and puffing with we weren't peppering the goal. We were huffing and puffing, but there was two big more. Are you finished?
No, I'm only halfway through it, but there is hammering.
Right, you come back. You come back.
No,
you come back and you're finished.
No, I want to add to what you said earlier.
I'm going to drop you because you're eating your soup. No, finish your soup. Finish your soup so you can have your dinner, and then you can have your pudding. And you come, Stickman Jimmy. Come on here, eating his soup. And you go.
I agree.
Even Rudy doesn't do that. It's a height of bad manners.
I agree everything that Bridgeman said there. I mean, I know I've come on and I've said it we were rubbish, but I didn't mean it we were rubbish in that. But everything that Bridge said there was correct. Arfield did a good game, but we just weren't able to compete with them, and that was disappointing. We made them just look as if they were a fantastic team, and we know they're no. And I'm disappointed at that. And I think Cushy said there, I think it was a bridge too far for us. And unfortunately, it had to be against them. The efforts the 9 men put in last week was fantastic, and we got left with this today. But hey, onwards and upwards. I'm not going to criticise the team. I just thought we didn't compete the way we should have.
It's time to get behind the team, mate. It's time to get behind the team.
Hey, I see. Obviously, when we're using the word rubbish, it's no getting against the team as Stevie G. No. His comments again were fantastic, and how he held his temper there was great. He told it as he saw it, and the rest of us saw it. And the referee the day was absolute garbage, and he gave them that win the day. We deserved a nothing each. That's what really pees me off. We deserved a nothing each. Although we weren't playing to the potential that we know that we can, we did deserve a nothing each. Some of Tav's balls were nice, so was Barisic. But we did, I can't believe that we didn't actually take a point for the game. But onwards and upwards, you say, I was looking at the fixture list as well. We've got a few good games that we can build a bit of momentum up and bang a few points together before we meet the unwashed again at our end place. So we'll see what happens the next few weeks. I don't want it to be the same old story again that we keep dropping daft points against daft teams. No.
The actual pressure's on us now. We can't afford to drop any more points.
Exactly.
Travelrog, I just see you wiping your plate with your bread now. Come on in, you come.
No, what I was going to say...
The height of bad manners coming on here and eating. On you go.
The big difference is that you were saying about putting this run together up until we play Hibs at Easter Road. You're confident that this team will do it, and that's the big difference here. Today, it's disappointing, and we've been on such a crest for a wee while. It's a shame we didn't get anything out of the game. One decision. I'm saying one decision. The referee for me had two big calls to make, and he got both of them wrong. The Ryan Christie one could have been much more difficult for. It could have been a bigger penalty for us. But definitely the Ryan Jack thing. It's a foul. It's a foul every day of the week. Now, fair enough. We move on. The manager was I thought was quite responsible about it. He didn't get drawn in too much. But hey, we're doing all right. I think we would all took this position. Despite the poor result today, I think we'd all took this position at the tail end of last season.
Yep.
As far as the Ryan Jack thing goes, you heard it in Stevie Gerrard's sort of post-match there press interview. He's standing next to the fourth official. The fourth official shouting foul, 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 and Colm just totally ignored him as he does. You know what you get with Willie Collum, but that doesn't. What the decisions that Willie Collum makes doesn't stop us from playing football, and that's what we never done today. We never competed.
Yeah, here.
We never. Very honest there, Rudy Bear.
Well
no passing the ball well. You're right, Dale. Yeah. What did you think of the manager? Do you think he summed up the feelings, the support?
Absolutely. I think the thing about Stevie G is what I've been really impressed with is there's nothing more frustrating when you watch a game and then a manager come out and try and bluff his way in saying something completely different, and you're thinking, don't even try and sugarcoat it. And I don't think Stevie G does that. An old guy that used to take me to the games when I was a wee boy used to say that you can never fool a football fan. And I think Stevie G epitomises that in a sense that he just tells it as it is, and as I think Rudy was saying there, just doesn't get drawn into it. Just, okay, that wasn't right, this wasn't right. He'll know where we didn't compete today. He's not stupid. He's been in the top of his game for a long, long time. He'll know where we didn't compete. He'll know where he made mistakes. He's not going to say it, and quite likely so. He's got to stand strong. And I think it's just a case of regrouping. As Travelrog says, we would have all taken it. Where we've came from, we would have all taken this. And qualifying for Europe without losing a game, etc. No, not a chance. It's amazing where we are at the moment, considering where we've came from. It's hard to take, but I've seen better Old Firm teams. I've seen a better Rangers teams losing at this point in the season and going on to absolutely destroying the league, never mind winning it. So I just think we just need to regroup at this moment, see it for what it is, learn from it, and then move on.
Blue Shadow?
I think that was very well put there. I'd say there's nothing.
At least he wasn't eating his soup,
I know. I mean, there's such people that come on here eating and stuff. It's terrible. I'm not saying nothing.
Ian ham for a chicken.
No bad.
Clever.
Showing your age, by the way. On you go, Blue Shadow.
No, but I said I had to get overly carried away with. We got it wrong today. It's as simple as that. We never considered whether it was a game too far, whether they were tired for rushes. It's no the end of the day. If we'd taken the 4 points that we dropped for last minute goals in Aberdeen and in Motherwell, we'd be breathing down their necks. We'd be in Europe, and although we'd be a wee bit scunnered about no beating this lot today, it would, we'd be in a pretty good place. So,
fair comment. But we have to start beating the teams. Aberdeen, Motherwell, we have to beat.
Well, that's what he's got. That's what he's got to work on. He's got 2 weeks to work on it, and we've got to make sure that we get the points off these. No disrespect meant to them, but these slightly small lesser clubs.
Hi, Big Ulster, then Rudy Bear.
Yeah, just like everybody else, but this is where we have to regroup now. As Big Sam says in an interview I seen him a few weeks ago on TalkSport, as Bolton said that he had a few seasons past, he got all the new players in and he knew they were a good team, but there was just out many games coming thick and fast. He couldn't really get, at the start of the season, he couldn't really get his points across and couldn't get them on the training pitch enough to learn different tactics and where he wanted to go. So, but once he came to the international break, those 2 weeks to him were a godsend, because that's where he could get everybody regrouped together as a squad and sort of training together and interlocking and different tactics. Hopefully for us, this international break comes at a good time. We don't throw in the towel at this stage of the season. We just
Are you up at 3? Are you up at 3 by any chance?
Me? No.
All right, somebody else. Rudy Bear.
I think these two weeks has got... Look, see 12, 13, 14 weeks ago, whatever it is now, maybe about 12, 13 weeks. See, would we have took where we are just now? You better believe it. Absolutely, of course we would have took it. This is the first game we've lost under Steven Gerrard. Disappointing, hard to take. It was a hard watch today. But then there's mitigating factors. Refereeing, moronic refereeing decisions, big night, Thursday night, down to 9 men, amount of energy that's been expended, a new team. We've, I've played a lot of football up to this point. We've now got the 2 week break, international break. That gives them time to work on the training pitch. We get the injury, boys that are injured, especially Koulibaly for me. We get him back in the midfield. The boy's an absolute warrior. For me, we have to... I'm totally confident there's no way we'll drop the amount of points that we dropped last season. It's as simple as that. We just won't do it. We dropped something like 26 points at Ibrox alone last season. That's not going to happen this year. That isn't going to happen. It's the first game against them. We haven't won and we haven't lost, but we also haven't lost anything yet, Ox. There's a lot of football to be played yet.
But we need to go on a run, Jimmy.
I mean... You were saying the other night there, Ox, I mean, you put the question out to us on it. I mean, would it be a bad thing if we did get beat today, because of where we have come to? And although we don't want to get beat with the unwashed, what your comment was absolutely spot on. Of course we've progressed. Where we are, I mean, 13, 14 weeks ago, let's not kid ourselves on. We all had our doubts about Stevie G at one point, untried manager. But we've all been on here before, we're all saying, look, the same thing. We're all singing for the same book. Now, look, he's done wonders and he's brought some great players into our club. It's rubbish to get beat with them. We hate getting beat with them, right? But it's another game. If we go along that lines, then there's a lot of good football to be played in front of us. And I'm really confident that it's onwards and upwards, as we keep saying. I'm confident the team will pull together again, without a shadow of a doubt.
Travel Rock, then Bridge.
I'm just putting the steak pie out, just a wee minute, all right?
All right. Bridge, when you come, mate.
Go on yourself, Travel.
You've got my full attention. I can't. I just, disappointing.
I am gutted, mate. Absolutely gutted.
There's a couple of things I know a lot of people are saying we didn't really play well. How many times did we watch Walter going there and putting us backs to the wall performance and then stealing a 1-0? It's one of the ones where I thought, we're doing all right here. We're doing all right. And then you scored that goal and that set me back a wee bit. Because I could see...
Two big moments for us, Travel, when Morelos was coming in and Tavernier. But about 10 years for the goal when we just didn't get it right.
Aye. So again, I'm not going to get too. I think another big bit of the disappointment is they were there for the taking. You know, they've had a right crappy week. You know, and I thought this could have been a wee bit where we could turn the screw. We could get in a result there. We could have continued on the crest of the wave. We could have made their week a wee bit even more miserable. But you know, it's just that wee bit of a missed opportunity. I think I'm just a bit macely disappointed. Am I surprised? As the manager says, the guys have been great. The performances they've put in, we just need to get some bodies back, and we need to get a wee bit of recovery time, and then we're back on it again.
We'll get a new winger to come. We've got a centre half to use reinforcements. We've got Ryan McCauley, by all accounts, to give a bit more cover in there. Bridgeman, just a game too far, mate. With it.
Yeah, it could be right. Look, we were talking the other night on Friday night, and we were saying, and what I said was, look, if we don't win today, then I'm not going to be too disappointed. I think that we have a tremendous run in Europe, and it's got us to a certain level, and I'm so delighted with that. We're going to go to Celtic Park, and we know what that den of iniquity is going to be like. We know it, and they did everything they could to make sure we didn't do what we can do. However, we're probably a game too far. You were probably right, but now that we're in, the manager's seen it. The players have seen it. How many young loanees were playing today? How many guys that maybe it must have been 6 or 7 Rangers players? No, but it must have been 6 or 7 Rangers players have never played in an Old Firm game.
Six making their debuts, mate.
So it just shows you. Hold on. I just said that they've done a lap of honour today, playing against a team that's brand new to all intents and purposes, and 6 of their players don't even know what a Rangers Celtic match is, and they're doing a lap of honour because they won 1-9. Admittedly, they were the better team in the first half because that's what I let them play.
It shows you how classes you are. Denver Bear.
Aye, you know, it's interesting sitting here listening to the guys and the different perspectives we've got now. None of us are down after the day, and that wouldn't have happened in the last couple of years. But we see the bigger picture now. We can see we've moved on big time, and we've got them in our sights. We'll take them. We'll take them in the next couple of games. There's no bother. But we've moved on big time, and I'm so proud of you guys, the way you've all taken this defeat today. You know, we see the big picture, you know.
Anyway, we'll keep it at time. It's last words to the bridge.
Can I just say to all the Rangers fans all over the world, and particularly the guys on here on Rangers Radio, good beat today, but I'm no downhearted, not in the least. Our manager has got a good idea what's going to happen, and he can make his plans to do it. Good on us, good on the Rangers. Hard luck. Get into it. Please keep it going for the fans. Keep it going for the Rangers. Keep it going for the Rangers, please.
Can I thank Denver, Bridge, Jimmy, Dale, Blue Shadow, Rudy Bear, Big Ulster, Cushy Number, and the one and only Travel Rug. And more importantly, Fox and Old School Blue, who keep the show going behind the scenes. This has been Rangers Radio. We'll be back tomorrow night between 9 and 11, talking about all things Rangers. Take it away, Old School Blue.
Ever since I recall, I have followed football and ingrained in my heart are the Rangers FC. Through good and the bad, times of happy or sad, it will always be Rangers for me. For when I was a lad, I was led by the hand down the Paisley Road West. I will never forget that beautiful sight of the red, blue and white from the day I'd be Rangers for life. And I vowed to my dad, if I too have a lad, I would show him the way as he did on that day. And so now here I stand with young Lyle by the hand after walking down Paisley Road West. For when I was a lad, I was led by the hand down the Paisley Road West. I will never forget that beautiful sight of the red, blue and white. From that day I'd be Rangers for life. For when I was a lad, I was led by the hand down the Paisley Road West. I will never forget that beautiful sight of the red, blue and white. For the day I'd be Rangers for life. There's a great sense of pride that I feel deep inside as I'm watching the jurors, my father and son. And it's sure safe to say at the end of the game, win or lose, we will all follow on. For when I was a lad, I was led by the hand down the Paisley Road West. I will never forget that beautiful sight of the red, blue and white. From that day I'd be Rangers for life. Ever since I recall, I have followed football, and ingrained in my heart are the Rangers FC. Through good and the bad, times of happy or sad, it will always be Rangers for me. For when I was a lad, I was led by the hand down the Paisley Road West. I will never forget that beautiful sight of the red, blue and white. For the day I'd be Rangers for life. From that day I'd be Rangers for life. From that day I'd be Rangers for life.
Now, Dunbar, McCready, forward to Meikle-John, to Dickey, back to Cunningham, and it's Morton. Morton over to Young, a neat pass to Brand. He hits it on, and yes, it's a goal! Listen to that Ibrox crowd roar as Rangers start the new year with a wonderful goal. And listen to Callum Kennedy as he sings with the crowd, the Rangers Chorus.
Have you seen the Glasgow Rangers? Have you seen the boys in blue? They're admired by all who know them. If you saw them, so would you. Loved by all, they are good sportsmen. For fair play, they top the pole. There's a roar that beats old Hampden when they score the winning goal. On the slopes of dear old Ibrox, thousands gather for the fray, and they're glorious and victorious when the Rangers win the day. They have played way in Monaco, they have played in USA, but the greatest game in history is the game on New Year's Day. It's the home of famous heroes, and their praises have been sung. Willie Waddle, Tory Gillick, Alan Morton and George Young. So when all my life has ended, and when death has made its mark, may they scatter all my ashes on the slopes of Ibrox Park. With the angels I'll be singing up in heaven in a glen. I'll be happy and contented when the boys have won again. On my harp I will be playing, and the sky